Hello everyone, my name is Hanson, and this is going to be my strength and conditioning workout for athletic workouts for plyometrics, explosiveness, agility, and speed. So like any other workout, we always want to start off with some warm-ups, and there's going to be two types of warm-ups. There's always going to be a general warm-up and a specific warm-up. Right now we're focused on the general warm-up before we move on to the specific. So for general warm-ups, the purpose of those is just to get the blood flowing in our body, promote some movement, and so that we can raise our heart rate to get ready for the workout. So we're gonna do two general warm-ups today. So the first one that we have is just a common exercise bicycle. We're just gonna do this for about 3 minutes at a moderate to low intensity, and then it doesn't have to be this one specifically. It could be like any other type of bicycle machine, or it can even be like a real bicycle, as long as it's the same movement. But we're just gonna do 3 minutes of it. It's important to make sure to keep a low intensity so that you don't burn yourself out, because we're not trying to train for any endurance at the moment. We're just trying to raise our heart rate. So try not to push yourself too fast. You want to make sure that you can still talk at an intensity. There's also other machines that you can that involve your hands as well, but we don't have that one here. So we're just gonna use this one for right now. Yeah. So we just finished up the exercise bike. So for our second and final general warm-up, we're gonna do some Stairmasters. These are pretty simple. You're just gonna walk up the stairs. It doesn't have to be a Stairmaster machine. It could just be a regular flight of stairs, as long as it's the same movement. With that being said, we're gonna do 3 minutes of this as well. All right, so we're done with our general warm-ups. So now we're gonna do our specific warm-ups. So what these are is basically is specific warm-ups that specifically help us for our workout. So it's gonna be like things such as dynamic stretches, and that's gonna help prime up our muscles that for the workout that we have to come. So for the first stretch, the first dynamic stretch, we're gonna do some standing ab twists, and these are gonna help stretch out our core muscles, specifically our obliques, and it's gonna help us a lot because we have a lot of rotational work that we have to do in this workout. So we're gonna do 40 reps in total right here. So for our second dynamic warm up that we're gonna do is gonna be some lateral side lunges, and the purpose of these is we're gonna stretch out our adductor muscles as well as our any hip flexors, and just warm up our legs as well. So we're gonna do 20 repetitions on each leg that we do. So it'll be 40 in total. So it'll be like this. So for our third dynamic warm-up, we're gonna do some high leg kicks. So the purpose of this stretch is to, we're gonna stretch out our hamstring muscles. So we do have a lot of hamstring movements involved for the workout today. So it's gonna be 20 repetitions for each leg, 40 total again. You come right here on the side. So for our fourth and final dynamic stretch for today, which will finish our specific warm-ups, we're gonna do some arm circles. So basically we'll just move our arms in this motion. So the purpose of that is we're gonna stretch out our rotator cuff muscles as well as our shoulders and pec and back muscles. This is a really good stretch for any upper body movements that we have. So we're gonna do 20 circles in total, and then we're also gonna go counterclockwise as well for another 20 repetitions. Now we're gonna go the other way. Watch me the other way now. So for our final dynamic stretch, we're just gonna do some butt kicks, and basically it's in the name. We're just gonna run in place while bringing our heels up to our butt. This is good for hip mobility as well as knee flexion. If you're a beginner, right, what you can do is place your hand on your butt and push your foot down if you struggle for mobility. Like that. Good. So for our first workout, for our athletic workout today, it's gonna be we're gonna do some Olympic clean variations. So for this first set, we're gonna do a hang clean variation, and the way we're gonna do that is we're gonna start in a deadlift position. You see the bar on the floor. We're gonna pick it up, knees bent, and it's important to keep your torso upright as well as hinging your hips backwards and keeping a strong core. And as we bring it up, we're gonna shrug and then drop down and then go into a front squatting position and then just squat up. And now we're gonna do 5 reps of it. So for our second variation of the Olympic cleans, we're gonna do some clean pulls. So it'll actually be easier than the hang cleans that we just did. So we're gonna start the bar in a ground position, and we're gonna deadlift it up, and then as we come up, we're just gonna shrug up and bring back down, and then back onto the floor, and then restart. And so this is an easier variation than the hang clean. This can help you if you're struggling with the hang clean and you need to work your way up to the actual workout. But we're still gonna do 5 reps right here. So for our final variation for the cleans is going to be some jump shrugs. So again, we're going to start the bar on the ground, and then as we pick it up, our workout was going to start with us holding the bar, and then we're going to slowly bend down and just explode up, and we just jump and jump in the air, and as you go in the air, you're going to shrug the bar up, and then you'll restart the position. So this can help to help build explosiveness as well as athleticism for your hang cleans. This is a good way to build up to that. And here we're going to do 10 repetitions. So for our second type of clean workout, we're gonna do some kettlebell cleans as well. So the first type of workout was just barbell cleans that we did earlier. Now we're gonna do some kettlebell cleans. And for this first variation, we're gonna have a dead clean. So we're gonna start with the kettlebell on the floor. We're gonna pick it up with one hand, and as we come up, we're just gonna bring it up to our chest. And it's gonna be 10 repetitions each arm. Now we do our other arm. So for our second kettlebell clean variation, we're gonna do a catch clean. So basically we're gonna pick the kettlebell with both hands, and we're gonna start in the downward position, and we're basically gonna do a deadlift, a Romanian deadlift, and as we bring it up, we're gonna snap our knees and then bring it up and then catch the kettlebell with both hands. And then this is gonna help work our biceps as well as our lats. So it's gonna be 10 repetitions. So for our final kettlebell clean variation, we're going to do a swing clean. So it will be similar to a standard one arm clean, but instead of doing a deadlift and then bring it up, we're going to swing it through our hips and then back towards our pelvis to bring it up. So we're going to use a little bit of momentum. This will help with explosiveness as well as power. And we're going to do 10 repetitions each arm. now that we're done with our clean variations, we're gonna do some lower body plyometrics. So for our first type of lower body plyometric workout, we're gonna do some box jumps. So for this first variation, we're just gonna do a standard box jump. We're gonna stand right next to the box and then do a double-legged jump. And as we come up, we're gonna slowly squat upwards to stay upright. And then it's important to make sure that when you're coming down to slowly take a step down, and it's important not to jump down because that could lead to injuries. And so we're gonna do 10 repetitions. So for our second variation for the box jump, we're gonna do a one-legged box jump. So we're gonna start in the standing position next to the box, and then as we jump up, we're gonna land on only one foot, and we're gonna slowly come down with the other foot, and then we're gonna restart it. And it's gonna be 10 repetitions for each leg. So for our final variation of the box jump, we're gonna do the one-step dynamic jump. So how we do that is we're gonna stand probably about 2 feet away from the box, probably around right here. And we're gonna take, as we jump on the box, we're gonna come up and take one step. And so we're gonna give ourselves a little bit of momentum. So the purpose of this variation is to give us a little bit extra explosiveness for the workout, as well as momentum. So we're gonna do 10 repetitions as always. And so the reason why workouts like these are important because in a lot of sports, there's a lot of transferability to different sports that you play, such as basketball or volleyball. A lot of the times you're going to take one step before jumping. You're not really going to be standing still in much sports, so this has a lot of transferability to a real life sports. So for our second lower body plyometric workout, we're going to do some squat jumps. So these are pretty much simple. You're just gonna go into a squat position with your knees bent, your ankles plantar flex, and also our hips hinged back, as well as keeping a neutral spine. And as we're coming down, we're gonna explode up and jump. And then you can either add weights to it or not. It depends on your level of experience with it. In my case, I'm gonna use some dumbbells right here, but that's completely optional. So for this first variation, we're gonna do a full depth squat. What that means is we're gonna go as deep as we can possibly get, as low as we can get, and then come all the way back up. And then we're gonna do 10 repetitions. So for our second variation for the squat jump, we're gonna do a quarter squat. So basically what that is, we'll just go 1/4 of the actual depth that we went last time. So in this case, in my case, it'll be probably like right here, and we're gonna explode up. And so the purpose of this workout is to we're gonna build more transferability and accountability for the other sports that we play. So in most other sports, when you're jumping, you're not really gonna go all the way down. You're most likely gonna be doing like a quarter squat type of movement. And so this one has better transferability, and it just it can relate to the sport that you're playing more. And we're gonna do 10 repetitions each. So for our final squat jump variation, we're gonna do some lateral jumps. And so basically we're gonna get into a normal squatting position. And as we jump, we're actually gonna propel to the other side laterally. And we're gonna go back and forth each time. And so the purpose of this workout is to provide more lateral movements into our drills. As not every sport, you're only gonna be going back and forth, or up and down. Sometimes you have to go side to side in most of the sports. And so in our case, we have some dumbbells on the floor as a reference to know how far to jump over. You don't have to, that's optional, but it can help to stay consistent with your jumping length. So now we're gonna do 10 repetitions, so 5 on each side. So now that we're done with our lower body plyometrics, so we're gonna move on to our trunk body plyometrics. So that includes our, specifically our core muscles. And so for this, for the first workout we're gonna do is we're gonna do some medicine ball throws against the wall. So for our, it's gonna help build our abdominals. So for the first variation that we're gonna do today, it's gonna be some crunches against the wall, and we're gonna throw the ball and catch it. And these are called crunch throws. And these specifically help the rectus abdominis grow, as well as become more explosive. So we're gonna do 10 repetitions. So for our second variation that we're gonna do for our medicine ball throws, we're gonna do some rotational throws. And the way this is gonna work, we're gonna stand against the wall, and we're gonna hold the ball and throw it like this. Like we're pushing the ball forward towards the wall. We're gonna pick it back up and restart. And so the purpose of this one is to really work on our rotational power. So this is gonna help us develop our oblique muscles, as well as the rest of our abs. So we're gonna do 10 repetitions on each side. So for our final medicine ball throw variation, we're gonna do some It's gonna be just like the standing rotation throw, but this time we're gonna be kneeling in a kneeling position. And so the purpose of this one is to provide a little bit more stability for a workout so we can draw out more power, but not too much stability to where it becomes an unathletic workout. So like before, we're gonna do 10 repetitions on each side. So now that we're done with our medicine ball throw variation workouts, we're gonna do some, for our second trunk body plyometric, we're gonna do some medicine ball slams. So these are different than throws against the wall. We're gonna slam these down and to create a crunching position for our abdominal muscles. And so for the first one, we're gonna do some overhead slams. These are gonna help build explosive power. It's gonna help our latissimus dorsi muscles as well as our rectus abdominis muscles. And we're gonna do 10 repetitions each. So for our second variation of the medicine ball slam, we're gonna do the same thing as the overhead slam. This time we're gonna be in a kneeling position as well. This is gonna help us create more stability as well, like our wall throws from earlier. So we're gonna do 10 repetitions. So for our final variation for our medicine ball slams, we're gonna do some rotational slams. So we're gonna be in a standing position and we're gonna go overhead. But before we throw it, we're gonna jump and turn to one side and throw it to the floor. And then we're gonna repeat and do it to the other side as well. So the purpose of this workout is to create more rotational power in our slams, and that'll help us develop the rest of our ab muscles, especially the obliques and transverse abdominis. And we're gonna do 10 repetitions in total, so 5 on each side. So now that we're done with our trunk body plyometrics, now we're gonna do some upper body plyometrics. That includes tricep brachii, bicep brachii, our deltoids, as well as our pectoralis muscles. And so for our first type of upper body plyometric we're gonna do is some plyometric push-ups. And so for this first variation, we're just gonna do a standard explosive push-up. It will be like a standard push-up. As we come down, we're gonna explode up, and then we're gonna release our hands from the ground. So we're gonna be up in the air for about like a half second. And when you come down, it's important to bend your elbows a little bit, because if you land with straight elbows, that could cause a lot of overuse injury on your elbows, and it can result in an injury. So make sure that you're when you come down, you're bending your elbows slightly. And we're gonna do 10 repetitions. So for the second variation for our plyometric push-ups, we're gonna do some clap push-ups. And so this will be like the same as the explosive push-ups, but when we come up, we're gonna do a clap and then come back down. And so this is just a way to make it a little bit more challenging if you find the explosive push-ups to be a little bit too easy. So we're gonna do 10 repetitions. So for our final plyometric push-up variation, we're gonna do a whole body clap push-up. So basically this will be similar to the clap push-up, but instead of only coming up at the arms, we're gonna bring our entire body up. So our legs, feet, arms, everything's gonna come up. We're gonna be up in the air for about half a second as well, and we're still gonna make sure to do the clap push-up. So the purpose of this one is to make the clap push-up even more challenging if people don't find it to be difficult enough. And we're gonna do 10 repetitions. So for our second upper body plyometric workout, we're gonna do some band resisted dumbbell bench press. And so we're just gonna do, it's like a standard bench press, but we're gonna do resistance bands behind our back. So the purpose of this is to make the workout, make the resistance stronger as we go higher, and then lower as we go lower. So this will have challenges to be more explosive with our bench press. So we're gonna do 10 repetitions. So for our second variation for the resistance banded dumbbell bench press, we're gonna do a alternating press. So as we come down, we're gonna bring the dumbbells up, and we're gonna do one hand at a time. The purpose of this is just a different alternative, so we can focus on one pec major muscle at a time. And it's gonna be 5 each side and 10 in total. So for our final plyometric upper body workout, we're going to do a incline version of the dumbbell press. So it should be the incline version, and we're going to do 10 repetitions. Alright, so for now that we're done with our plyometric workouts, we're going to do some reaction drills. So for this first workout, we're going to do some tennis ball reaction drills. For the first variation that we're going to do is a one bounce catch. So you're going to have a partner, and they're going to have 2 tennis balls, and they're going to throw the tennis balls at you, and they're going to pick a random arm, and whichever arm they give, you're going to go diagonally. So for example, if my partner right here decides to throw his right arm, I have to use my right arm as well to catch across. And we're going to do 20 catches. So for our second variation for the tennis ball reaction drills, we're gonna do a wall bounce. So you're gonna stand facing a wall, and then your partner is gonna be behind you, and then bounce it off the wall, and then the ball, you're gonna allow for one bounce on the floor, and then you're catch it, and y'all gonna repeat the process. So this is just a different variation than before. It's just to make it a little bit more harder to react to. So we're gonna do 20 catches right here. So for our final variation for the tennis ball reaction drills, we're gonna do a no bounce catch. So your partner's just gonna toss it upwards to you in an motion, and you're just gonna grab it with the diagonal hand that he threw it from. And we're gonna do 20 catches here. So now that we're done with our tennis ball reaction drills, we're gonna do some medicine or some yoga ball holds. And then for the first variation that we're gonna do is some standing static holds. So you're gonna stand here with the ball, and then your partner's gonna repeatedly hit the ball. And the purpose of this is to react in time to keep the ball stable at this position for a period of time. And this is gonna help work our abdominal muscles as well as our reaction time. And we're gonna do this for 20 seconds. So for our second variation, we're gonna do the standing static holds. This variation, we're gonna do the one-legged one. So the purpose of this one is to make it a little bit more unstable, to challenge ourselves a little bit more in case the first variation was too easy. And like before, we're gonna do 20 seconds right now. So for our final variation for the static ball holds is we're gonna do a one heel elevated hold. So in this case, we're gonna have our heel our toes right here. We're gonna hold the ball like this, and it'll be the same drill. But the purpose of this one is to make it a little bit more challenging than the two-legged standing one, but a little bit easier than the one-legged one, because that might be too hard. So this one falls about right in the middle, and we're gonna do 20 seconds each leg. So now that we're done with our reaction drills with the balls and tennis balls, now we're going to be doing some agility and speed exercises. So for the first exercise, we have shuttle runs. So basically, if you look down, I have a kettlebell right here and a kettlebell over there as well. And we're just going to run back and forth at the end of each one and just touch it. And it doesn't have to be kettlebells. It could be cones, dumbbells, or just like any marker or anything. And then we're gonna do 10 laps back and forth. So here we go. So for our second variation for the shuttle runs, we're gonna do some backwards runs. So it's in the name, we're just gonna run backwards 10 laps in total. So the purpose of this one is to provide a little bit more backwards propelling, because in some sports you're gonna wanna run backwards a lot. And this is gonna help strengthen our hamstring as well as our glute muscles. And so here we go. So for our final variation for the shuttle runs, we're gonna do some lateral runs. And how you do that, we're just gonna be on our side and we're gonna run sideways, back and forth. And the purpose of this one is to, again, like in most sports, you're gonna be running sideways a lot in most sports that you play. And so this can help transfer that to when you play in a real match. And we're gonna do 10 repetitions right here. So now that we're done with our agility and speed exercises, now we're gonna do some battle rope drills. And so for this, we have the battle rope right here. For our first variation, we're gonna do some alternating waves. So as one comes up, the other's gonna come down. And we're gonna do this for about 25 seconds. This is good for muscular endurance, power, and speed as well. Here you go. So for our second variation that we're gonna do some high alternating waves. So it's gonna be like a standard wave, but we're gonna bring our elbows up and we're gonna do the waves a lot higher. This is to make it more challenging for us. If you find the first variation to be a little bit too easy. This is gonna be 25 seconds like before as well. So for the final variation for our battle rope workout, it's going to be some low waves for this one. This one is going to make it a little bit easier than the standard waves and a lot easier than the high waves. And we're going to do this for 25 seconds as well. And it's also, I forgot to tell you how to do it. So you're going to grab the ropes and squat down into a lower position, and then move the ropes from your lower rectus abdominis muscle. So now that we're done with our workout, congratulations on making it this far. Now we're just gonna finish off with some static stretches as our final cool down. And so for the first one, we're just gonna do some upper back stretches, and the way we do that, we're just gonna lock our fingers and point it outwards, and it's gonna stretch our upper back. And we're gonna hold it for 30 seconds. So for our second static stretch cool down, we're gonna do some shoulder stretches. We're just gonna bring our elbows across here and take our wrists and lock in the elbow and just hold this position for about 30 seconds. This is gonna stretch out our deltoid muscles, specifically our posterior and medial deltoids. And we're gonna do 30 seconds on each side. So now for sorry about that. Now for our third general static stretch, we're gonna do some some lunge holds. So we're gonna get into a lunge position, and we're gonna stretch out our hamstring muscles as well as our adductor muscles, and we're gonna hold it for about 30 seconds on each side. for our fourth static stretch, we're gonna do some chest stretches with our hands behind our back. The way you're gonna do that is bring your hands to your back and hold this position and push out. You're gonna hold this position for about 30 seconds. This is gonna stretch our pectoralis muscles right here. So for our fifth static stretch, we're gonna do some tricep brachii stretches. We're gonna do that by bringing our elbows up, taking our palms, placing on the trap muscle, and then I'm gonna push down on this elbow with my other palm, and I'm gonna hold that position for 30 seconds on each arm. And this is gonna stretch out our tricep brachii. So for our sixth static stretch, we're gonna do some standing hamstring stretch, which is gonna be the standing position, and we're gonna take our hands and bring it all the way down to preferably your toes, but if you can't reach that, you can just go for your ankles. And we're gonna do that while keeping our knees slightly bent while hinging our hips backwards. This is gonna stretch our hamstring, and it's gonna be 30 seconds. So for our seventh static stretch, we're gonna do some calf stretches. So we're just gonna be standing next to a wall with our heels, probably about like 6 inches away from the wall, and we're gonna bring our body closer to the wall as our heel stays in place. And it's gonna stretch out our gastrocnemius muscle, otherwise the calf muscle. So it's gonna be 30 seconds on each leg. So for our 8th static stretch, we're gonna stretch our quadricep muscles. And the way we're gonna do this, we're gonna lay down with our stomach on the floor. And then I'm gonna take my heel and I'm gonna use my hand to grab it and bring it to my butt. And I'm gonna hold it in that position for 30 seconds on each side. So for our 9th static stretch, we're gonna do the cobra pose. So we're gonna be in a laying position on the floor once again, and we're gonna use our hands to push up our body, and we're gonna we're gonna extend our spine basically as much as we can, and this is gonna help stretch out our entire abdominal muscles, specifically the rectus abdominis, and we're gonna hold it for 30 seconds. So for our 10th and final general static stretch that will conclude our stretches as well as our workout for today, it's going to be the kneeling openers. So these are a little bit newer for most people. You're going to get down in a kneeling position like this, and you're going to bring your hands upwards like this. And it's going to stretch out your abdominal muscles, and we're going to do about 30 seconds for each side. So